He scored 2 goals in a Euro semi-final at 21 years old against Germany.
Balotelli get a double! He can!
And when they asked how he felt after that, he said there was nothing to celebrate. When I score, I don't celebrate because I'm only doing my job. When a postman delivers letters, does he celebrate? The entire world thought he was arrogant. But maybe they never really understood who this man was. This is the story of Mario Balotelli. Not the one you've already heard. The other one. August 12th, 1990, Palermo, Italy. A boy is born with a severe intestinal condition. The doctors say he needs urgent treatment. His parents say they have no money. At 3 years old, Mario Balotelli is given up for adoption. An Italian family from the north of the country, the Balotellis, opens their door to him. Francesco and Silvia. Simple people. Good people. Mario grows up in northern Italy, a predominantly white region, and from a very young age, he learns something no child should ever have to learn. That he is different, that he doesn't belong, that some people will never let him forget it. Football becomes his escape. At 11, he joins Lumezzane's youth academy. At 15, he's already playing for the senior team. At 16, he signs with Inter Milan. The boy who had been abandoned by one family was about to conquer another, the world of football. But the world of football was not ready for him. At Inter Milan, he finds a squad full of legends. Ibrahimovic, Adriano, Cambiaso, Maicon. And he finds Jose Mourinho.
I think I'm a special one.
Mourinho was the best manager in the world
Sir
at that
Alex
moment.
is the only one European champion in this country. Nobody else, so I have to prove what.
And he knew, better than anyone, what Balotelli was capable of. But he also knew the kid was impossible to control. In a crucial Champions League match in Kazan, Mourinho spent 14 of the 15 halftime minutes speaking only to Mario. Don't provoke anyone. Don't react. Just play with the ball. First minute of the second half, red
Minute
card.
46, red card.
Years later, Mourinho would tell that story
I
laughing.
could write a book of 200 pages of my 2 years in interview with Mario, but the book
it wouldn't
would
be a drama.
Not a drama.
It would be a comedy. But underneath the comedy, there was something nobody wanted to see. In 2009, during a match against Juventus, the opposition fans start chanting, "There are no black Italians." Balotelli was 18 years old. He responded the only way he knew how. He scored the equalizer.
Traversone per Balotelli, maglia di rigore. Super! Mario Balotelli!
In 2010, Inter win the Champions League, the Italian League, the Italian Cup, the treble. Balotelli is part of that team. At 19 years old, he becomes one of the youngest players in history to win the Champions League. And still, nobody talked about the talent, only the problems. In August 2010, Mario Balotelli arrives at Manchester City. 28 million euros. 20 years old. Roberto Mancini, his former manager at Inter, believes he can do what Mourinho couldn't. Turn Balotelli into the player he always knew he could be. What happened at Manchester City has no easy explanation. He throws darts at youth team players, gets fined, gets criticized. He sets off fireworks inside his house and nearly burns his own bedroom down. £400,000 in damage. The next day, he goes to the match against Manchester United and scores.
The left-hand side to the edge of the box, and Mario calmly.
City wins 6-1 at Old Trafford, the biggest derby in the city. Balotelli lifts his shirt. Underneath it, a message. Why always me? In the 2011-12 season, he scores 17 goals. City win the Premier League for the first time in 44 years. On the title-winning moment, Balotelli receives the ball, falls, and with one last touch, lays it into Aguero's path. Shortly after, he goes to the Euros with Italy, semi-final, on Germany versus Italy, 2 goals before halftime. 21 years old, on the biggest stage in European football. It felt like the moment that would define Balotelli as one of the greatest players of his generation. What happened after that? Most people already know. Liverpool, 4 goals in 28 games. A disaster. Milan again. Injury. More failure. Nice. Turkey. Switzerland. Genoa. The talent was wasted. That's what the media said for 15 years. But there's a part of this story almost nobody tells, honestly. Mario Balotelli was racially abused in virtually every single year of his professional career. 2009, Juventus fans chant that there are no black Italians. 2010, Italian supporters hold up a banner at a friendly, no to a multi-ethnic national team. 2012, Spain and Croatia are fined by UEFA for monkey chants directed at Balotelli during the Euros. 2013, the vice president of AC Milan, the club he played for, is filmed using a racial slur to refer to Balotelli at a political meeting. 2013, Inter Milan fined after their fans racially abuse him in the derby. 2013, Roma fined for monkey chants. The referee stops the game. Then the game continues. And it went on every year. The same player, the same abuse, the same indifference. In a CNN interview, after yet another episode on the pitch, Balotelli said,
After what happened to the last game, I felt a little bit alone when I was home. And I always said that if it happened in the stadium, I just do like if nobody say nothing and I don't care. But this time, I think I changed my mind a little bit, and if it's gonna happen one more time, I'm gonna leave the pitch.
Maicon, Balotelli's teammate at Inter, once said in an interview,
Então, assim, não tinha que falar de qualidade como jogador, porra, imensurável, mas o cara mudou da cabeça.
At 16, he was the craziest guy I ever saw in football. But as a player, his quality was immeasurable. Mourinho, the hardest manager Balotelli ever worked under, said,
I could write a book of 200 pages of my 2 years in Inter with Mario, but the book would be not a drama. The book would be a comedy. Not at the time, but a couple of days later, I have to laugh, and especially to remember with a sweet way.
That is the paradox of Mario Balotelli. Everyone who truly lived alongside him ended up loving him. Because underneath all the madness, there was a child who was abandoned before he ever learned to walk, who grew up being called a foreigner in the country where he was born, who was racially abused in packed stadiums while the world applauded around him, and who still, in the moments that actually mattered, delivered. At Nice, away from the cameras and the pressure, he scored 33 goals in 61 games, the best numbers of his career. A man finally at peace. But elite football never called him back. Maybe because elite football never knew what to do with someone like him. In 2024, Mario Balotelli signed for Genoa. Back to Serie A, back to the beginning. The media said it was sad, that it was the end of a wasted talent. But I see it differently. A man who survived a life-threatening illness as a baby, who was abandoned by his own family, who was racially abused for decades, who was turned into a punchline by media across the entire world, and who still was playing football. The question he wrote on that shirt was never really answered. Why always me?